Welcome to episode number 24 of the Final Circle podcast. This is going to be a quick intro. I just wanted to record this here to let you guys know that we had some audio issues with this episode, so I apologize for that. My microphone ended up being a little too loud and Andrew's ended up being a little too low. I tried to balance them in my audio video editor, but I don't think it came out as good as I wanted it to. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. And then also for some reason, I don't know why I was doing this, but I started clicking a pen towards the end of the video. And I was like, dude, why were you doing that? I have no idea. I guess I totally forgot my audio manners. So one more time here, I just want to apologize for that. First half hour, I thought was okay. Then it gets a little shaky there in the last half hour. So thank you for sticking with us throughout the podcast. And we'll make these edits and improvements in the next episode and try to prevent this stuff from happening. So as always, thank you all for listening, and here's the episode. So what do you want to start with today? So there's a lot to talk about. We got PUBG PTS is on console. It's on Xbox, PlayStation 4. It's also on PC right now. And I think actually the PC updates just went live. So actually the PTS is probably over on PC. Those updates just went live. And then we also have this Microsoft Sony kind of partnership happening that they definitely got to talk about, that I actually just read about. I had just read headlines before the podcast. I researched a little bit before we got started, and I got some headway finally on the PC build. I have like a bunch of builds, maybe like 5 that I put out, but there's like 2 realistic builds that I put together, AMD and Intel. So I'm kind of ready to talk about this stuff like a little bit more in depth. I know you built your computer. When was it? Back in January already?
Yeah, that was January.
Crazy. So hopefully you'll remember some stuff. We can get into that. But I think because a majority of the people listening to the podcast, I know you guys are probably PUBG fans. So I think we should start with that first, and then the Sony Microsoft stuff, and then maybe we'll end with some PC talk for people that want to know kind of in order what we're going to be, agenda wise. But obviously we bounce around from time to time.
Yeah, whatever you think is better to start with. Doesn't matter to me.
All right, so have you played the PTS, I guess is the first question? Okay.
Yes, I did. I played a lot last night.
Yeah, for anybody listening, I did, to celebrate the PTS launching on Xbox, I did a 10-hour marathon stream. It was ridiculous. Did you know I did a 10-hour stream on Monday? It was super long.
I wish I had taken off to play.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun, man. Honestly, I'm glad I did it because, who knows? I don't know what a marathon stream is in some people's eyes. There's some streamers that they don't stream every day, and when they do stream, they always stream for 8 hours. But it really is kind of crazy to stream that long, because when you're playing with your friends for a really long time, even 8 hours would be long, but like you're getting up, people are taking breaks, you might get off for an hour and get back on. But when you're streaming, I'm like talking to everybody the whole time. So it's basically like doing an 8-hour podcast in a way. I took a break to have lunch, but I spectated. I kept my game on. I hid on a roof in Vikendi, and I kept the game on. So it was just crazy, but it gave me a good experience to test out the entire PTS. I pretty much did everything I could in one day, and we got a lot of new people in the stream that were wondering about the PTS, hopefully some new subscribers and stuff. So that's why I do those events on those days, because I know that's going to be more active on the stream and stuff. So actually it was pretty crazy. Over 1,000 unique viewers came into the stream on
wow, 1,000,
over 1,000. Yeah. So I thought that was awesome. That's a lot for me.
That's awesome.
For a stream. I was pretty excited about that. Yeah. So on to, Enough about me, my bad. Let's talk about the game. So we got the major changes. The new update is that the MP5 is in the game, the MP5K, replacing the Vector on Vikendi. Then we got changes to the the Vector. We got M16 slight buff. The Mutant now takes a attack stock, so does the M16. And then just some small improvements to the game. I think that's everything weapon-wise to my knowledge.
The 45 and the 9mm.
Yeah, so I was saying that changed to the and the Vector. They switched, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did say
and then also one really big improvement, which I don't know if you noticed, is that I knew about this, is that they were merging the pistol attachments and SMG attachments, but I didn't know they were doing all of them. And I feel like that is so awesome, because I knew it was with extended mags, which I'm like, that's going to be really great, because now there's going to be extended mags all over the place for pistols and some machine guns. But it's also with suppressors. So when I was like running around, I'm like, dude, you can kit out a SMG really, really fast now. And I feel like that helps the SMGs out a lot. I'm making a video about it because the SMGs kind of stink right now. Not stink, but like I prefer not to use them really, because of the short distance range on them, the damage drop off. But now while you're searching for AR parts, you can have a fully kitted MP5 or Vector really, really fast.
Yeah.
And the new Vector, I think, is pretty sick. Did you get to use that at all?
I didn't use it. I should have. Everyone was saying it's really good.
Yeah, I really, really like it. It reminds me of, I guess, the Up now, but it still feels like it's shooting really fast. So it's kind of like this balance between, it's like the
Accurate.
Vector that still shoots fast but has more damage. I mean, more ammo and a little less damage. So it's and super accurate still. So it just feels like this perfectly balanced gun. But then the ump feels really good up close, kind of like how the Vector used to, because of the 45
Yeah.
ammo. I think is so strong. But
Yeah.
just like the Vector did, the drop off is just so bad. At least it feels like that on console, and it's really
Yeah.
hard to track players that are more than like 50 yards away. That I didn't really love the ump that much. Only close range for me for that the new ump, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, I played with the ump some, and it seemed that it's kind of funny that the ump completely changed how it sounds, and the Vector sounds pretty much the same.
Totally, that's so true.
But the ump I thought was good, like definitely for like the normal close range. I mean, the ump I think with a 9 millimeter, I don't know if it was really an issue of the ammo they were using, but I think they just had to really tone down the ump like range and everything because I think it was like a laser beam sometimes from a good distance.
Yeah, it definitely was. For me, I always felt like there was a lot of drop off, but people would just laser me from so far away with the ump, and I feel like if you used it a lot, you could destroy people from like anywhere with that thing. I mean, and most people, even me, you could put it 3 times on the ump or a 6 times scope on the ump and hit people. So, yeah, the old ump that is.
Yeah, I just think it was. Yeah, there was times I would get shot with an ump, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" The ump like outshot an M4. That doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
yeah, no, for sure.
So I'm glad they kind of fixed that. Maybe that's really because the SMG should not have anything really over like 50 yards or so. Should be kind of getting a
Yeah,
little hinky anyway.
yeah, definitely, I agree, and that's why I think that what they're doing is pretty good. They're pretty strong up close. The rate of fire is fast. The attachments are easy to get now, so I think they have like a pretty good spot. But still,
Yeah.
again, I'm still like heavy on the AR front. But what about the MP5? Did you get to try that at all, or not really? It's only on
I
Vikendi.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't get to really try it. I think I
Okay.
found it for a brief period, and then I found like another gun. I found, like an SKS or something. I was
Yeah,
like,
if
you
you
know
find
what?
like almost
I'll pick
anything
this up.
else, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna pick up this
Yeah,
gun.
I was keeping them just because I was streaming with it. Like I wanted
Yeah,
to
you
have
wanted
them
to
on in
try
case
it.
people were like asking. So I used it, and it's cool. It takes like all the attachments. It's like the micro Uzi, but it's like louder and more. I would say more. It's like more beefier. Like it shoots. It feels like you have in between the ump and the micro Uzi, but it's like it's
Yeah,
loud. So it seems like you're
shoots at a
doing.
slower rate than the or the
Yeah,
Uzi, right?
yeah. It kind of chunks. It's like exactly almost is like it's like the G36C in like little submachine gun form. It
Yeah.
sounds loud and kind of like chunk 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 like when you're shooting it.
Yeah.
You know, at least that's what it sounded like to me. And again, I'm gonna post a video I think tomorrow of going through all the different guns and some gameplay from the 10-hour stream of all the different the new guns. And there's some times when like I was on somebody like on their back, and it takes a little while. It almost felt like the Scorpion in a way where you're just like ripping shots on people, but up close I got like a nasty triple kill. And because it's so fast to reload with that extended quick draw mag, like I took out 2
Yeah.
people, reloaded, killed another guy. It was like super fast, and that felt pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think I didn't really get to use it much, but it's definitely a different edition, and I think having more
Yeah,
weapons is definitely always fun.
yeah, I think it's fun. I wish it was on other maps, but
Yeah, I
it
don't
is.
get why they only do that. They do that.
Yeah, I looked it up, and it's like this particular version of the MP5 is like a German version of it, and I
Yeah,
maybe because it's like in Europe and Vikendi's in Europe, that's why they're doing that. I don't
I
know.
guess.
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
why they're sticking certain guns to certain areas at this point. I've said that in a couple videos, so sorry for
Yeah.
repeating myself, but it makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean,
We've been
uh,
kind of like tracking that down. Um, so that was cool. What about, did you get to use, probably not, because I know it's like, it's not a gun people mostly pick up or usually pick up, but the M16 with the tac
yeah,
stock is pretty cool. I don't know if you got
yeah,
to
I
use
did.
that. Okay.
I picked it up. Got a 4 times scope, put its tack stock on it, played with it a little bit, ended up getting killed. I think pretty early on, not early on, but I didn't get to use it much. I just wasn't seeing a lot of people.
Yeah.
It definitely feels a lot more stable. It's definitely a little bit more like how you would think the M16 should be.
Yeah,
You know?
I like it. They buffed the M16 without attacks, like without the tax, like just default. They made it where the recoil after your first burst shot is like it centers quicker, I think now.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty hard to control in burst, but if you have the tac stock and you're shooting single fire with like a 3-time scope or a 4-time scope, it feels really, really good. Like it goes right back to where you were kind of shooting. And to me, it was way easier to control than maybe like say like the SLR. I know it's more powerful, but like it really bounces when you're shooting. And the M16 got like really less recoil there, and I got a lot of nice kills with the M16. So I was loving that gun on the PTS right now. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy the M16. I mean, the game overall seemed to run really smooth, so it was like very enjoyable.
Oh yeah, the game is just to finish it off. I didn't play with the mutant. Did you? I
Oh,
didn't.
I did play with the
Oh,
Mutant,
I
but
never
didn't
used that
attack
gun.
stock it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't get attack stock for it. It's still good. It's a good gun. It's a powerful gun. It's a 7.62 round. It's just I
They
don't think
didn't.
it's much different than the M16, to be honest with you.
Well, they didn't change anything to it. They just added the tac stock, so it's just supposed to help the recoil. I just don't personally like that gun, so I avoided it. I should have used it just to test it, but I avoided it.
I like it. Gun.
Yeah. And just to
I
move on
used
to
like
the server play, my bad. The server,
Oh,
it was this is like the best PTS ever in terms of like PUBG, or best update in terms of like no bugs, right? Like no flying cars,
Oh my gosh.
no issues.
I remember the first PTS and just how scary it was, and now it's like, wow, it's almost like playing a complete game. I think this update, once it goes to the live server, hopefully they don't mess anything up and they fix the small issues that are there, that we won't have this similar server issues we had before.
Yeah, it felt really, really good. Yeah, no, some people said they were crashing, but I think that just happens randomly. I played for 10 hours. I didn't crash. I didn't crash today. No major issues. But you know what? Me and Evil Can at WD-40, shout out to him. I don't know if he listens to the podcast or not. From the stream, he played with me today, and we ran into a hacker, a cheater on Xbox, which I had never run into that before.
Really?
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty interesting story that happened. So me and WD-40 were in a game, hilarious gamer tag, and Evil Can at WD-40, and we had an awesome game. Landed Pachinki. We ended up getting the dinner, which makes it even better because we killed this hacker guy. He killed me. So we're on Erangel. The circle is coming down to the bottom of the map where we always land. People listening aren't going to know the spot. It's kind of to the right of the left bridge. You know those like two sets of rows of houses.
Yeah, the yellow
It's
houses, yeah.
to the right of Ferry Pier. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like to the right of that bridge. Anyways, at the bottom of the map, like above military base, below Pachinki.
On
Circle,
the main island.
yeah, on the main island below Pachinki. Circle's ending over there. Where there's like 10 people left, maybe 15 people left. We're rotating around, and this guy pops up out of nowhere, and instantly it sounds like he shot like 10 bullets at me, and I just died. And to me, it only sounded like one big bullet. Like I thought he shot me with an AWM, but then it said headshot by AKM, and I'm like, that's really weird. And then I was like, there's no way, man. One shot, I died, and everyone's like, dude, no, he shot like a million shots at once. So then people are like, that guy might be cheating. I'm like, I've never heard of that before. And then so Evil Can WD-40 kills him. He revives me, and then a guy comes into the stream. He goes, dude, I'm spectating you in the game right now. I know your YouTube page. I came in. That guy killed me. He's hacking. I've been filming him killing all the players in the game, and I'm reporting him right now. And I was like, so
Wow.
he got killed by the guy, and he kept recording all the things. And he's like, dude, then he killed you. And I'm like, I know that guy from YouTube or whatever. And so
Wow.
he shared the clips, and this guy got killed by the hacker. He was just in a building, and he was punched. The guy was outside the building, the hacker, in a bush, and he was melee killing everybody in the area.
No.
Like just melee killing them. Yeah, and then I guess he was trying to hide it maybe, or like, he had this AKM, and then I
Yeah.
guess he had this thing where it unloaded all the bullets in 1 second, like immediately. And that's why it sounded like this crazy shot. And he dumped his whole clip, and I just died immediately from this dude. And then I guess he was reloading, and then WD-40 was able to kill him. So that was weird. I don't know
What
why
do you feel like when you lose?
when you're hacking and you lose. Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't just melee everybody. I guess he was trying to hide it. So we don't know if this is a. I still have to report this guy. I said I was going to do it after the stream. I don't know if this is a PTS thing, but it's pretty hard to hack on like Xbox because it's easy to hack or mod your Xbox, but once you go on Xbox Live, they detect that stuff immediately. So I don't know how this happened. If it's a PTS thing again, just to repeat myself, but that was kind of a
Yeah.
bummer because that can totally ruin your experience if that carries over to the live server.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, that's kind of. I just don't get why people have to cheat. It's just I just don't get it.
I
It's
yeah,
like
but
why, dude?
it's stupid. But like, I get it if you're like 13 and like
If you're
we did
13,
we did stupid stuff like that too, dude. We used to like do stupid stuff in Halo and Super Bounce and trying to cheat, do like bend the
yeah,
rules
but
and
you were
stuff.
13. But there's people that are like 30 doing it.
Well, that I don't get. I really don't get it.
There was a
But
guy. There's this is on. This is on Shroud. Shroud had someone um hacking, and he like asked. He was monitoring them, and the guy was stream sniping him, and the guy was watching his stream, and he was like, "How old are you, dude? Like, how old are you? Like, why are you cheat like?" And he just like he like wrote it on the wall with bullets in Apex. Like 25, and then he was like, why do you cheat? Like, you have good movement, you obviously are good at the game. It's just like you're cheating for no reason.
yeah, I don't
It's
really
just,
get that. I don't know. I don't know why
it's just
people would do
weird.
that at that point. You're just kind of like wasting your time, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just stupid because then you get banned and you're can't, you know what I mean?
But so yeah, I think it's just people turn it into a game, like their own little game, and they like have fun trying to beat it. Trying to beat getting banned and ruining people's day. They get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. I
It's like
mean,
being a troll. Like, why do people really be like real life? Like, being a troll is funny, but like, why do people like terrorize people online? I don't know. I don't want to know
oh,
why
like
people
the
do
stream
that.
hogging.
Or not even stream. No, no. I mean like legitimately like posting like harassing
Oh
comments
yeah.
or something like that. Like,
Well,
why do
those people
people?
are just
It's kind of the same thing though. It's like, why do you post a like? It's different between. No, I sometimes people leave trolling comments. I laugh. I go, that was funny, dude. Like, I get it.
yeah,
But
when it's
then,
like sarcasm
but then
almost.
people like sometimes leave really mean comments on my YouTube page. Like, and they're like, why? Like, where are you even? And the person you can tell isn't like. It's like 30. You're like, why are you leaving this comment? It's so
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like why are you so upset right now?
Yeah, it just exists out there, man.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it's just funny that like people would get that buddy hurdy about it, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of stream sniping going on from people in the stream, I think, recently.
Jeez Louise, guys.
Yeah, geez Louise. I don't really mind it too much, but again, I always tell people I have to shoot you. I don't want to get banned for like running next to
Yeah.
somebody. And sometimes it is it's sometimes it's annoying when we're playing with people from the stream because I don't get to play with everybody that often. So to play with somebody like one time and then get like killed from a stream sniper is kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. And I could
Yeah, you're
probably
gonna
do
have
some things to prevent
you're
it.
gonna have to hide your thing now, like
It's
everybody
just
else, so they don't know when you start.
exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm honestly gonna set that up. I have to do that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
you could just set it. Yeah,
It's just a never like overlay. Yeah, just hide it and then just show my webcam or something and then like a different background. Yeah.
yeah. That's why you gotta get the green screen.
Well, that's why, dude. We even I was doing some. I was playing some gifts today in the stream because we had a little dono train action going in between the donations going off and the gifts I was playing. My
Yeah.
computer was literally shutting down. It was like getting error messages and the stream was lagging.
Oh,
And it's
dude.
like it's not good.
Time to go.
Yeah, time to go. But we can talk about that in a little bit. Well,
Really sad.
yeah, we'll mention that a little later. So what
Yeah,
else is going on? So we got the PTS, the server's playing well. It's gonna go live next week. So now it's kind of like some downtime, really, though. Because I
Yeah.
don't know what to play. Like, I guess just keep playing the PTS this week and test it
Yeah,
out.
for a while. I mean, they're gonna it's gonna go down and then pretty much go right to the full server.
Yeah, they didn't say an exact time, like on the 28th, but they said on the 28th it will go live, which is next Tuesday. And I don't, usually they say as long as there's no issues, but there isn't any issues, and they put it live with more issues. Like they put
Yeah, I
they
know.
put the
I mean,
Vikendi one live with all the issues.
I
So
know, yeah.
yeah, I
What
think
does
they
that
I
mean?
think they need to, man. I mean, we're pretty far behind. We need this update to go live. We're more than 2 months
Yeah,
behind, and
I agree.
and for me as a streamer, like it's gonna help a lot because then there's and just a fan of PUBG that there's the next Survivor Pass and all this stuff, and there'll be a lot to do with all that, and hopefully more community events on Xbox and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think that we're definitely far behind, so we definitely need it. But also at the same time, like that Survivor Pass should come out, and we haven't even gotten that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad to play the PTS for a while, and I just hope that they do address the small issues before they put it on the production server. I don't think that, like, I remember I saw some people saying that, like, the loading issues were still there, but I just don't think those loading issues are ever going to go away, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, I think again, it's unfortunate, but it's like you need an SSD, I think, to help that. You know.
Yeah, SSD or, I don't know what the word is for it, but
or you could have like, I mean, the Xbox One X even still has issues, but really, I don't know if I can really encourage anyone to upgrade really anything at this point other than SSD, because we were talking about on the stream today that there's a lot of talk now about Xbox, the next Xbox and PlayStation 5 coming out in 2020. And I guess I
Yeah.
didn't look this up today, but somebody said that there was the next Xbox stats were leaked, or like information about it
Oh,
was, but
really?
who knows if
Yeah.
it's next gen. Let me Google next gen Xbox.
Yeah.
And it was basically like the PS5 information was leaked, but who knows, if you don't know if it's real or not, but saying that
Yeah.
like it's going to be, they're going to try to scale up to 8K, have SSD. And honestly, it just seems like me building this computer that SSDs now are finally, it's kind of like flat screen TVs, like the SSDs prices are coming down now. So it seems like it almost seems like not having an SSD will go away in the next 5 years. Like there won't be anything other than an SSD, because now they're actually moving past SSDs in the PC world. There's like things that are faster than the SSD now,
Yeah,
like the NVMe and the something other drive.
yeah. There's God, it's similar to an SSD, but
It is.
they're
It's the same
it's
thing. It's
different.
just a different like connection.
Higher end. They're like something whatever. It's like
Yeah.
USB 3 to USB,
Yeah.
C
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Still USB, but yeah, I just pulled up it looks like like there was a video online of like PS5 doing like the video comparison from PS4 to PS5,
Hmm.
and I mean you couldn't really tell anything. It was like some guy tweeting it, recording it as like a demo. You couldn't really tell, but if you go like on Google, you could see that like EA made there's news like EA made a series of videos meant to showcase its next gen video games, and like you could see like it's rendering hair for PS5 and next Xbox. So and then it has it looks like on Inverse they have E3 2019, Microsoft keynote leaks reveal xCloud, new Xbox, and Halo clues. So
Okay.
pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked now to be going to E3. I may not get to see the keynote in person, but I bet you if they're gonna do some talk like that, they're gonna have something like tangible to touch there or like look at.
Yeah. 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 That's gonna be
You
really
know,
cool.
and it's something they may have, not, maybe not. I don't know.
No, I think they'll have
It'd
some
be
kind of
cool if I'm-
information. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think it's gonna be interesting. It would be kind of cool. And it'd be a little bit of hype.
Wow. Okay. And this is interesting because I'm confused, because I'm like, dude, hearing all this stuff now, I'm like, there's no way Halo is about to drop. Microsoft's signature, they're only really big. What do they call this? When it's only on one console. It's only on Xbox. What do they call that?
Yes,
The
exclusive.
exclusive. It's really like Xbox's biggest exclusive is the Halo title. I'm
Yeah.
like, I heard all the speculations that Halo was going to release in 2019, but I'm like, if the next Xbox is coming out in 2020, they're definitely going to hold this. So now that I'm looking at this, I re-googled this. This Halo Infinite, November 2019. I keep seeing that as a release date. It's just speculation. It's actually not. Set in stone yet. So they might be. I wonder if they're going to simultaneously, whenever they do it, if they're going to drop,
Release.
say, Xbox 2020, Halo Infinite 2020. That would be
Yeah.
pretty dope. Honestly, that would be
Yeah.
pretty sick. That would build a lot of hype. And it's already
Definitely.
almost June, so you think they would have already announced it. But then again, the next Call of Duty hasn't even been announced yet. But all that stuff
Yes.
is coming soon. This is going to be, if this is really true that these next systems are coming out, this is going to be a really big year for all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's
sure.
definitely going to be a huge year for gaming in general. In the next 2 years, we're going to see a major shift.
Yeah.
I think that like it would be cool to do that. And I mean, they didn't announce Scorpio about a year and a half before, so like the early like the E3, kind of the same timing now. So if they announce these new Xboxes at this E3, then in 2020 they launch, that'd be about the same time frame. And I'm looking at it looks like they have the Xbox codename Anaconda, and then Xbox Lockhart codename
Okay.
Lockhart, and Anaconda is expected to go toe to toe with Sony's PlayStation 5 in terms of specs and capabilities, and Lockhart is the budget console that will rely heavily on xCloud.
Okay, Suey Burns was saying that there's going to be like a premium one that they're estimating $500+,
Yeah.
around 500, and the cheaper one will
It's already
be
in my- already
200,
sold.
250. So definitely be picking up the next Xbox. Very excited for that.
Yeah, bro, yeah. 'Cause they know that like cloud gaming is definitely going to be a big thing, but I think at the same time they know that there's going to be hardcore core people that want to have like that more,
Yeah, for sure.
responsive.
I'm
It's
always
because
gonna
it's so
want that for
expensive.
honestly. I mean, as long as I can
Yeah,
have a machine
definitely.
and all this stuff here, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
for that.
you're definitely always gonna want a machine in your house over having like remote.
Yeah, I think
But it
so.
says both an SSD graphical processing unit and a graphical processing unit that supports ray tracing are both premium features that won't come cheap.
Damn. Yeah, it's
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I guarantee you the specs between this PlayStation 5, Sony's going to step it up, and Xbox is not going to back down.
no way. I hope
Um,
not. Yeah.
no, they ain't going to back down. So they're going to have dude. In reality, they're probably going to be pretty much the same exact specs.
They're probably
They're
gonna be
using the
very
same
close. Yeah.
GP. They're using the same GPUs pretty much. I'm almost sure they are. You know, I think Microsoft just has a better time like writing putting the parts together a little bit more, but you know, we'll
Yeah.
see. It'll
Yeah.
probably be the same.
No, they're probably going to be pretty close. I'd have to imagine. I think you're right about that, and it will definitely be interesting. And I guess this is a good time to talk about the Sony Microsoft like kind of partnerships. I was reading about this, and from the
Yeah.
article that I read, I think you called this because you've talked about this in many podcasts before. That it's less about like them really making some kind of like gaming partnership, but what it is that I think they realize that they both need to transition into. Getting ready for the cloud because that's where other services you were just talking about that are going.
Yeah.
There's going to be the what is the Google one, Stadia, and then there's also going to
Yeah.
be other platforms. There's now in-browser games and all this stuff. So I think what the article was hinting is that it's really not about gaming. It's that Sony is going to kind of work with Microsoft because Microsoft has all of those servers, and you've always said that where really people don't understand is that Microsoft like really blows away the competition is that they have all these servers, right? Like people don't really
Yeah.
understand that. And you were
Hundreds of
explaining
server
that
locations. Yeah.
like there's really no one near them in terms of that capability,
Yeah.
right?
I think
At
100%.
least in the gaming world,
Definitely, and I think even in the just in
in the
general,
world, right? Yeah, it
I
seems
think if
like
we
it.
go, you can look it up. Uh, you know, I could just Google it, but like, I think that this is big news in general for gamers. Like, if you're a gamer and you're not excited about this, or you're a little buddy hurdy about it, you have the wrong mindset because this is how we get cross-platform for all the games you love. You know?
Yeah, hopefully one step, right? One partnership could lead to just a better relationship in the future for
Yeah.
a lot of
Of course, you
stuff.
can hear my typing. I should have used the other keyboard. Um,
It's all good.
like the thing is that like obviously they realized Sony definitely had a realization that we do not have the ability to cast games on the cloud like Microsoft does. Microsoft had a huge advantage there. Um, and they don't want to lose to Google. And I
Yeah.
think both of them don't want to lose to Google. I guarantee you that they were like, we could either,
Yeah, dude,
you
you're
know,
calling. I mean, this is actually an article from Bloomberg. This is funny. And it literally says Sony feels threatened by mighty Google, and has decided to leave that infrastructure to build up with Microsoft. Crazy.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. So exactly. So what happened is, oh, so there's like a couple of strategies you could take. You could be uh, Sony, and you could try to partner with Amazon, and use their cloud computing
Yeah, I'm
and
surprised they
try to
didn't.
get.
Yeah,
But you have to worry about infrastructure there. Or you say, you know what, like people want cross-platform. We've been heard this complaint over and over. They like having our console, but they want to play PUBG with their friends. They want to play Fortnite with their friends and have Xbox. Like, what are we resistant to? You know what I mean? Like, we're getting to a world where it's freemium gaming. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they were like, you could always partner with a small company, or you could go, do this strategy and go, you know what? Like, we're used to be enemies. Why don't we work together on this and keep the massive shareholder on this?
yeah, yeah. In this situation, kind of makes sense. What about the hottest take of 2019 in the gaming world? What if they create some kind of partnership, cross-platform, Xbox and Sony, and then Xbox in negotiation they allow Halo to go on Sony, and then everything's cross-platform. Halo's cross-platform. 2020 consoles take over the world. I'm just kidding, but that would
That'll
be
never happen.
that would never happen. But that would be
I don't think there'll ever be like exclusives like that.
I'm just tired of there being exclusives, man, because like only having Halo playable on Xbox, and I guess it will be playable on Microsoft, kills part of the player base though, man. Kills it. It just won't be as big as it will never be
Yeah.
as big as Fortnite or PUBG because you're cutting out PlayStation users, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's definitely true. I don't know. I just don't think they'll ever be like exclusives will be um
I think exclusives
on
are a
both
thing of the
consoles.
past, man. They were a thing of the past when it's like everyone cared about story, and there's still a lot of gamers that care about story. But to
Yeah.
me, it's like then again, I mean, people buy like the Nintendo Switch just to play Zelda. So like if you
Well,
could
that's
get,
like how
so
people
I get it, I
determine what
guess.
they want to play.
I guess, man, but like the biggest games aren't exclusives though, and maybe I'm just being annoying because I'm just a multiplayer player. But like Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, League of Legends. Well, it's League of Legends only on PC, but like these big games don't have any like boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I think that's how people really determine where to put like
Wait,
where
what?
to uh where like what console to pick, you know? I just
Mhm.
think that's where they kind of go, "Oh, exclusives are why I choose Sony over Xbox or Xbox over Sony."
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more like where your friends are. That's how we've always picked, right? Like, I mean, I do like Halo,
Yeah,
so I'm
that
always
too.
gonna pick. Like back in the day, I did think Halo was better than any exclusive for me because I loved Halo so much. But now it's like I don't know. It's all the same. And to me, it's just a controller, and everyone I know is on Xbox, and I think Xbox Live is better. So I just use Xbox.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but we're biased. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess
you
so.
know, I know that
Yeah,
it's
true.
well, yeah, we have a little bit of a bias here.
A little
I
bit. I mean,
I
yeah, I guess
just
so.
want them to. I want there to be cross-platform. I want us to all have that. And there's a lot of articles saying like Sony developers were like completely blindsided by this, but like in reality, it wasn't their decision to make. And you know, if they're blindsided by this, it's probably the people that are making the consoles. Like Sony probably does not have necessarily like web develop. That kind of development team. It's very possible, and that's where they were like, you know what, to hire the people to do X and Y, it doesn't make sense cost wise. Just
Yeah. No,
use
totally,
Azure.
totally.
So
Yeah, they have. I think that's exactly what's going on. If I had to guess,
yeah,
I,
because I'm gonna tell you, like developing cloud, running applications versus like like Sony PlayStation application on the Sony play on a hardware Sony PlayStation could be very different.
yeah. I mean, I have no idea about that stuff.
But you would need another team anyway, even if you have to do
Oh
both.
yeah, yeah. It'd be super expensive for Sony, which Sony's not as big as Xbox. They have other things they're working on. Their gaming division's only one part of it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that they have. But then again, they could be. I'm sure they want to get into the cloud more, and this partnership will help them in other areas, maybe of their business as well. So there's so many parts that you really don't know. They
Yeah,
said they
they
didn't
could have.
share. They said they really didn't share that many details on the deal yet. So a lot of
Yeah.
it is kind of like speculation right now.
Yeah, they probably got more out of it. Like, hey, TV, music, whatever they got to do,
Something, yeah,
something weird. It's just data storage, even through Azure versus
yeah.
using Google,
You know
just
what's
to save
you
money.
know what's crazy? This is a little off topic, but it's just crazy that growing up, Andrew and I are in our late 20s. Like when we were younger, Sony was like the king of like electronics. Like anything
Yeah,
Sony was like guaranteed to be the best, really, right? Like when we were really young, and then
yeah,
as we were getting older, that like went away really fast, and like Samsung took over. And I feel like
yeah,
Samsung is like been the way to go for like TVs. And now I feel like it's changing. But like for
yeah,
like 10 years ago, like Samsung was like the top of that stuff. It kind of crazy how Sony really fell off. Like Sony was hurting for a really long time on like their TV business and stuff, and like a lot
yeah.
of things they like fell down a lot in like
Their
their
gaming
computers,
business was a big,
their computers and a lot of stuff. Yeah,
and
it's
now
kind of
they're
crazy.
gaming for a long time. They just. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with them at that time, but Samsung definitely just came out with some kick-ass TVs.
Yeah, I think
And I think
because
it might have been partly because Xbox was so big, people bought Sony Samsung TVs or something because they didn't want to buy Sony TVs and have an Xbox or
yeah, I
something.
think there is
I
some
could,
brand. I think Sony. Yeah, I think Sony got like yeah, there is like a lot of brand loyalty. Brand loyalty. I think
I bought
Samsung
a
just
Samsung
I think
because of that.
I think Samsung came in from South Korea was like blowing up. I mean, that's like when South Korea now they're like such a. I mean, they've been for a long
Yeah,
time. They've been really far ahead in like technology, and I think they just came kind of out of like they had so much technology investment going on out of that country. And, like Samsung was like the pinnacle of that in a way too, of
yeah.
like
Samsung's like
here's like our
the
best company
biggest
making
company.
like. Yeah, but
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, for a while, yeah, I kind of like hated on Sony. Well, I used to love Sony, but then I kind of hated on them too. So I get that as well. But I think they're kind of like everything was overpriced and people said, you know what, it's not really worth it anymore. Like you're paying for the brand at a certain point.
yeah. A lot of like component competitors like came out like Vizio and stuff like that. and they're really reputable now.
Yeah, totally. A lot of other options.
They just undercut the market completely on like LCD and LED TVs.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. There's always, and I guess we're going down even farther into this, but it's crazy that there's always room for other companies. And I was thinking about this today. HyperX, to me, came out of nowhere. I have no idea where they came from. I don't know where they're
Yeah.
from. And, my buddy sent me a headset. I'm like, what is this HyperX headset 3 years ago? Now I bought a new one. And then now, like, they're making microphones. They're making everything for streaming. Like, I think they're making like a computer part thing. They're making like all this. They're going all in on like every computer piece that you can think of for streaming or like headsets. They're making so many products now, and a lot of people are digging HyperX. I'm like, it's kind of crazy how these companies just like blow up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I had never heard
Oh,
of
I
it
know,
before.
it's crazy. I mean, it. I don't really know how they do it, but it's fun. I guess it's just that we're not like really always paying attention to like headphone
Yeah,
companies.
I think there's just always new companies coming in and out. It's just crazy that like some companies just don't stay on top. They drop the ball.
Yeah, I mean, here we can go over also. This article is pretty good on Inverse. It has a lot. Just the E3. It has the whole leak here with the X Cloud. They've been developing it for 2 years. So that could be another reason why Sony was like, "Hey, they've already been working on this a while. Like, let's not reinvent the wheel."
Yeah,
Xbox. Once the Xbox Scarlet consoles. Oh, there's another name. They like come up with weird names. Um, Azure data centers, which will be available. Oh, so the service will leverage Microsoft Azure data centers, which are available in 140 countries. That's a lot of countries.
that's like they've already
That's
got the infrastructure. It would be almost impossible to recreate that.
when I worked
You
at
know?
the company that did video game servers, we had 13 locations, and for Call of Duty, we rented another 4 small ones for just Call of Duty. So that's 16. Imagine having 140. That's like so many more. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's a lot of infrastructure there, which is expensive.
Yeah.
But then they go over some E3 2019 new games that they're going to probably be announcing, like Halo Infinite, Gears 5, Gears Tactics. I don't know what that is. Ori and the Will
Probably,
of
I
Wisp.
think that's a mobile thing. Gears of
Yeah.
War mobile. Yeah,
Gears
I think so.
Tactics, Ori and the Will of Wisp, Bleeding Edge, The Outer World, Cyberpunk 2077, Age of Empires 4. That sounds pretty dope. Fable, Sea of Thieves, a teaser trailer. Weird.
Oh no, this is Gears Tactics is a new turn-based strategy game set
Oh,
in the
really?
game Gears of War universe. So my bad. I only said that because I know there's a lot of games that are like doing mobile stuff, and a lot of hardcore gamers are like getting pissed off. I thought Gears of War was one of them. It might be. Let me Google mobile, but this sounds cool. Turn-based kind of strategy game.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. It seems like Microsoft is like, we had talked about E3 kind of being a dying event, but it seems like Microsoft is really kind of turning it up.
Yeah, this is
They're
interesting.
playing with thunder.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Andrew is going to E3 this year, which is coming up
Yay.
really soon, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, I leave in like 2 weeks.
Wow,
Well, I
dang.
leave for Seattle for 2 weeks, and then the week after, that Monday, what day is it? Jeez, I can't remember when I'm
E3 starts on Tuesday and then
Yeah, the
ends on
Tuesday.
Thursday.
So June. Jeez, dude, I'm sad at what day I'm traveling. Yeah, it starts the 11th of June, so I'll be in LA the 10th. And then
Wow.
through the 13th.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's gonna be fun. Check it out. There's a lot of they have the map up and everything. It looks kind of cool. It looks small on the map, but I was like looking at the actual convention center, like, oh, this is big as shit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be
You know what I mean?
huge.
Like you look at the map, you're like, oh, there's not that much there. And then you look at the actual convention center size, you're like, actually, this is massive. So
Yeah. Nice. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to hear like your experience. I want to see some videos. What
Yeah, I'm gonna
did,
have
did
my-
they have any issues with your phone? Like, there's not there like, can you not take videos or something when you're in there? Or
no,
did they
I
say
think
anything
you
about
can.
that?
I think
Okay.
the day before, you can't. Like, there's like early releases for certain people.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure I don't remember 100%, but I don't think that I have an issue like videotaping with my phone.
Oh, cool. Maybe you can like FaceTime me or something while you're there. It'd be cool to
Yeah.
see what's going
I'll
on.
definitely take some videos, and I'm gonna bring my computer with me, so we could do like a small podcast when
Cool.
I'm there.
Yeah. Remember, if you do any important video, make sure it's horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking idiot.
Dude, when people do the vertical thing, I'm like, come on, bro.
I know I'm gonna I'll probably do vertical because I'm not gonna be thinking at the time, but I'll definitely make sure.
Yeah, just it's actually not a huge deal, but for anything on YouTube, it always looks better when it's
I know I
horizontal.
gotta like make sure I delete any unnecessary stuff from my phone too. Like I have so much garbage on my
Oh,
phone.
oh yeah. Honestly, it might be a good time to. like every once in a while, I used to just clear they take everything on my phone, and I'd be like iPhone from like 2018 to 2019, and I just put it in a folder, and then like have a fresh one, and then I try to organize that one or something
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it's so hard to freaking delete everything on this phone though. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's really hard to keep your
They don't make it easy to delete stuff on phone like these things.
or to organize it. It's really hard to. I mean, now we're going really deep in, but yeah, I tried it my best. I honestly, I have so many folders on my computer. Like I do 2019, 2018. I try to make like life events or like, if I go on a trip or something, I make it a folder like XYZ trip 2018. It's super, super hard. There's so many things, so many pictures and videos you take. What do you do with
Oh
all this
yeah,
stuff?
it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's really crazy, man. So much data, and then now I'm even thinking, if I build my new computer, like I have an external hard drive, like 2 terabytes, like that's filling up or an external 1 terabyte. I have 2 terabytes on this computer that are almost full. I have like 40 gigabytes left. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is gaming stuff I could delete, but it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do with this computer. Like storage is gonna be as we get more and more digital. I guess things are just gonna go cloud, and like we're not really gonna. No, because cloud has to be somewhere though. Like the data is just insane. You know?
Oh no, that's why they're always working on compression and all that stuff.
Like what are we gonna? We're just gonna be like robots are gonna do all of the work, and the giant skyscrapers are just gonna be filled with servers and giant databases.
Pretty
Is
much.
that gonna
I
be
mean,
our
they're
future?
trying to do that. They are dropping like servers into the ocean and trying to figure out like how it could affect the environment and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, for
make sure
cheaper
it doesn't.
cooling and stuff like that. Have them in the
Yeah,
ocean. I've
cheaper
heard about that.
cooling.
Yeah, I've heard about that before.
Yeah.
Just
But they just gotta make sure they don't like destroy everything around it because it's like having a hot brick against like a coral reef is a bad idea.
Yeah, I know. There's like when there's some huge warehouses that Microsoft or companies have bought, like in Wyoming, where the real estate is really cheap, and then they just pack them full of like servers and huge fans and solar panel things to keep the air conditioning and everything running and cheaper and save. It's crazy all the stuff they do. It's like pretty nuts.
Yeah, it is. And the water makes sense. It's just that it's like, does it make sense?
Yeah, no, not really. It does, but not in that case. Not to be out in the water, in the actual ocean. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, they definitely have to figure out storage somehow eventually. I think we're okay for a while, but and I think technology definitely gets like think about the SSD, like how much smaller the SSD gets.
Oh yeah, I mean the one for my Xbox is so tiny, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It looks like
I know.
a post-it note. It's so
But
tiny.
yeah, it's not even really necessarily about the storage too. It's just computing power, like all the cloud technology and stuff too. But
Yeah,
we
for
don't
sure.
need to go into all that.
Yeah, so while we're kind of here on the topic, I guess I was gonna save it
No,
to the
let's
end,
do
but
it.
I just want to run by like some stuff. Just I don't really know if your opinion or anybody else listening to this is really gonna I would love to get some feedback, but I don't know what really gonna do. But I'll just put it out there into the world, I guess. So trying to do this PC. Obviously, I don't really have an exact budget. I mean, obviously, I can push myself and just get something if it makes more sense for me. I want something that's going to last for the long term as a streamer and a video editor and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's really tough, dude, is picking a motherboard and all that stuff. But obviously,
Yeah.
you need to have a CPU picked out before that. So my choice
You need
is,
to know which one you want to do.
yeah, if I'm going to go AMD, I'm definitely going to go. They have this AMD 7 2700X, which is
Yep,
like
that's what I have.
there's like it's like 200 plus bucks,
Yeah,
and
something like that.
that is like a really really good deal for a CPU, for a high end CPU. That's like one of the higher end commercial
Yeah.
like or standard AMDs. But the issue with this is that AMD is about to announce their new chips in like the next 2 weeks, but then their release date's not going to be until a couple months. So like if I could either wait and this chip will go down in price, or I could get the newest one, and then pay more money. So it's kind of like a catch-22. And obviously classic, like I'm trying to build it and have to wait. Or I could go Intel, and for like $400, which is way more expensive, you can get the Intel i7 9700K, which is the highest i7. And then the next one up is the i9, which is like overkill. But the i9 so everyone says don't get the i9 is sick. It's the best chip out there pretty much right now for a standard buyer. I mean, there's like hyper ones that are like serious, but for like the standard person, the i9 is like kind of top of the level. But normally it's like in the $500-$600 range, but right now it's on sale for like in the 400s. So it's not that far off from the i7. and it's gonna probably go off sale soon, I'm guessing. So now I'm like, should I get this thing? But then once you go like i9, you need like a crazy motherboard and to handle it and like all this stuff, and then the build starts getting like crazy.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
mean,
like,
you're not gonna. I've talked to people about it and at work, and they never really said anything. Like they were like, I don't. A lot of them were just like an i5 if you're just playing games. For you, an i7 would probably be more than enough.
I know I definitely need that stuff because I was reading about it for streaming. If you're going to be doing
Yeah,
having the gameplay and streaming, or like I have so many applications up like Streamlabs and the stream to do all the notifications and stuff, I definitely need like the higher end side of
yeah.
things
You
for
definitely
sure.
want i7. If you, I mean, they were just saying if you're only playing
Oh yeah,
games, like
if you're
an
only playing
i5.
games, you definitely don't need all this stuff. This is for people who want to do streaming. The streaming is almost more intensive sometimes than gaming in itself because
Yeah,
of the some of the stuff going on behind the
like
scenes.
re-rendering the video. I
Yeah,
mean, it's up to you. I guess. You
of
know, if
course,
you think
yeah.
it's necessary, if you think it, I would say if you think you need a computer sooner than later and you're okay dishing out a little bit more, then go for the i9.
Well, that's what I was
Um,
thinking, man. What do you think?
or
And if I do that and just get like not as good of a graphics card, and then like everyone wants to jam up their graphics card like so bad off the bat, but I feel like if I just got like you got what the 2080 or something,
2070.
2070. So like the 2080 is like the highest, and then there's like the Ti, which is like $1,000. So obviously that's not
Yeah,
happening.
if that.
So 280 is not happening. 270 could happen if I went lower on the CPU,
2070.
and then
Yeah.
I could go 2060, or I could
Hmm.
even get a 1050 and not RTX, and those are like, anywhere from 200 to 300, and then I could save the $100 here, and then put that in the i9. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna go lower on the graphics card, but I don't know if that's a
What
stupid
about the
idea.
1070?
Yeah, I could do a 1070, but I just don't know if it's a dumb idea going low on the graphics card. I feel like for right now it is because I'm not playing Crisis on my computer or whatever the latest like high intense
No,
game
I
is. You
mean,
know what I mean?
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, even if you did play a game like that, you're
It's still gonna
a bad
work.
experience.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
for me, like I want something that like I don't want to have to build another computer again. So I feel like dishing out the extra cash for the CPU and then getting a low end or lower end GPU, and then if I save up a little bit more, like in 2 years, I can get another graphics card or something. That's what I was
yeah.
thinking
I mean,
in my head.
if you were gonna stream a lot of computer games, I'd say yeah, you need to go high on the GPU. Also, you can't mess around with But
Yeah.
I think for your use case, if you can get a good like a 1070, or if you want to go a little bit more for the 2060, yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I think so. And I was looking through the build, and like if you price all that stuff up, like you can get that build like an i9 with that 2050 or 2060 or whatever. I don't know though if there's a 2050 with the 2060, 2070,
Yeah.
and all the basic stuff for depending on like how cheap you go in some areas, and if you could bring it back down to an i7 or the AMD 7, which is cheaper, you can go anywhere from like 1300 to like 1800, and I guess that's kind of like my price range. I'd rather not be in the 1800 section. I'd rather be more
Yeah,
around
that's
like
crazy.
1500 for this computer, but I think that's where I'm gonna try to end up. So
Yeah, that's a little 1800 is a little bit too much. Wait, you said you're at the 1500, 1600?
yeah, no, I think like I'm down. I mean, I don't want to do it, but I think not that I don't want to. I do want to do it because it's like we gotta help a lot, But I think to make something to me that's gonna last long enough for like streaming and everything that I want to do, because I don't want to have to do this again, like or in a couple years. I want it to have a strong backbone, so I want it to have a good CPU. So I feel like I want to spend around that money, at least 1300. I feel like to get a solid computer. I mean, at least 1,000 really is minimum, and then 1,300 I think is ideal, and maybe pushing up to 15, 1,600 if I feel like it. But I don't want to push myself, and then because I can just reuse my monitor. I already have the monitors. I already have a mouse and keyboard. I don't need any of that stuff. So when I'm saying that budget, it's really just for the computer, and then I have everything else.
Yeah, then you gotta put in Microsoft Office too. I mean, Microsoft.
That's
Windows.
true. That's true. I haven't really been thinking about that.
I mean, you could do the free version for a while.
I haven't really been thinking about that's like 100 or $200, right?
200.
Yeah. Damn. Hmm.
So many complications, everybody. There's always the underlying cost.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been using the free version of Windows for a while now, and it's
Yeah.
fine. I'm going to upgrade soon though, because I
Yeah.
don't want to have it. You could do it for like 3 months, and then when you kind of reaccumulate a little bit of savings and move over to
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not gonna kill you, dude, to wait like 3 months.
No, totally. Yeah. That's true. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna keep it somewhere in that range for the most
Yeah.
part. I'm just looking at this list. So yeah, I don't know. It's exciting, but again, like it's hard making for me hard. Spending the money on something like that, but I think it's worth the investment. And also, it would be exciting to have something because then I could also get on PUBG PC, which I don't want to leave console, but again, it would just be really nice to have those tools accessible, like PUBG replay and stuff for like a cool video and make
Yeah.
some better content and stuff like that. And now it's killing me, dude. Like when I get an awesome gameplay, I'm streaming in like 720 and sometimes it, doesn't look that great. So then and I
Yeah.
can't record while I'm playing. So I had this crazy game where I won with a crossbow and I put it on YouTube and I'm like watching it back. I'm like, this just looks like crap, And so it's just bumming me out. And I feel like not that that's the only quality. It's not like that HD 1080 is not the only thing that matters, but I feel like it would help a little bit at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, this is for the, it's your job now. So.
Yeah. Plus, I could write it off on my taxes. I guess not. I guess, but I can.
Damn. Fuck the government.
So that's a pretty
Like
big
the
write-off.
people.
That's a pretty
You
big
could have
business
written off the
write-off.
trip to E3 too. Damn.
Technically, I could have. Yeah, you're right. I could have done that.
Shit. You could have gone.
I
Idiot.
could have done that. I could have done that. But honestly, I'm still in like super conservative mode. So we'll see. Business
I get it.
day by day, week by
I get
week.
it.
So there you go. For anybody that, I think most people probably have listened to the podcast before. I'm trying to build a PC. I just explained why. I've never really built a PC. I helped Andrew build one before. And I helped my buddy Dave build one or two growing up. He's a big PC nut, and I've seen him do it. So I have some experience. And you killed your PC build, man. You definitely knew. But I kind of get how you knew because I've been watching so many videos at this point that I'm like pretty on top of it now. I feel a little bit more comfortable. But you knew all the spots that exactly like plug in. That still kind of like worries me a little bit.
Nah, we'll figure it out. It's all good.
Yeah. And you know what's gonna save a lot of money, dude? I made the decision. It's so hard to make the decision. I might unmake the decision, but I've stayed away from all the RGB lighting, and I'm not saying that because you put in some. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but because it's not that much more expensive, but it does add like it's so much easier. It's like, oh, here's this part regular. Here's this part with RGB. It's $30 extra, But if you do that 5 times, that's like an extra $150 on your budget. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Like I'm really trying to stay away from anything that like is so appealing, but like not
Dude, the only
performance based.
RGB I have in my
Was the-
thing
Is the
is the water cooler.
oh, is that
It
it?
was that way. Yeah. Well, no. All right. I take it back. The only thing I had when we built it was the water cooler.
Oh, was that it?
And then I put in 2 fans to have RGB.
Oh, but your
in.
motherboard had some RGB lights on it, just
Yeah,
stock.
very little.
Oh, but stock,
Very-
stock. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it has,
never
like-
mind. Okay.
I bought a box set from Cooler Master for 3 fans, for like $30, and I put 2 of them in. I still have a third one, so I could just give it to you.
Oh, cool.
If it
Okay,
fits.
okay, there you go.
Then you
All
have
right.
one little light in there.
Yeah. Well, there's there is like, because you can spend a little bit more
Oh,
money and
you
do the
wanna
RAM.
have
You can do color RAM. You can do color this. You can do color that.
I do not have color RAM.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
No, I have. I'm trying to like.
I mean,
look
those
under my
PCs
desk.
look sick, but it's just like
I mean,
for
Dude, it sits under your desk. Mine has.
yeah,
2
mine sits
fans.
underneath my desk.
Yeah, see, I have a little bit of light LEDs on the. I'm probably like. Yeah, mine sits underneath my desk too. See, I'm trying to. I have the water cooler where it attaches the CPU has the lights, the fans for the the water cooler, and then I have 2 fans with lights. And the motherboard has very little RGB, but I don't have the RGB.
No, but yours looked good.
RAM.
I was saying yours looked really good. I thought you had more. And I
Yeah.
just forgot.
I mean, dude, when it's dark in here, dude, like you don't need a lot of RGB. Like I don't get why people. You could buy like those little LED strips for like $20 and put them in there. If you
Yeah,
want.
it kind of just does the job. Yeah. But so people who have their things fully loaded. If you guys don't know what it looks like, Google it. It looks sick. There's some people who do this crazy build where it's like almost just looks like a cool like Arctic blue color. It's like Arctic PC builds. Let me Google it. I'll do Arctic PC builds. Yeah, Google Arctic PC build, dude. I think these look so dope. They're like all white with like blue lights and stuff. It looks I think it looks pretty sweet. There's one
yeah,
here
it
that
does.
looks like it has like a something inside, like a mortar and pestle. What do they call those? Like it looks weird. That's
Mortar
like
and
four
pestle.
mortar. Yeah, like the fifth image in 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah, these
images.
look pretty dope.
Yeah, they look pretty sick. These
They're
are
just
sick.
like so ridiculous though. Like look at that water cooler.
I,
Of course,
I know it's crazy.
like a MSI.
Yeah, they look
Um,
so sick. They're like for anybody listening, they're white with like basically almost like stormtrooper status, but not really white and like blue. But the blue looks really cool, like really
this
cool
thing has a lot of
colors, like a
fans.
lot of like white glow and blue glow.
Yeah,
Nice.
damn, this thing has a ton of fans in it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn. I
Yeah,
only have. Oh, I guess I technically have 4 because of the water cooler. Yeah, 4. So that's a smaller water cooler than mine. Loser. CPU's not cool enough, idiot. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I like just like the random. Mine's just like pretty much spitting out random colors all the time. So I like mine.
yeah, no, I like the random colors too. It's pretty dope.
I don't like the 2 fans kind of do random colors. The other one's random. So it's fine. I mean, I don't know why I got 2 more the fans with RGB. I just
No, it was a
eh,
smart move. It was a smart move. I'm not knocking
but-
you.
Well, for $30, I was like, I could put 2 more fans in here and just have more.
No, I know. I'm not knocking you at all. I'm just saying it's very. I built like a computer with all RGB stuff at first. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, I was making fun of myself. I'm like, it's so
Yeah.
easy. My first build, literally, I went cheap on everything, like to save money, to get in the build. Like I lowered everything, and then I'm like selecting RGB, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just delete all this RGB shit. And even as I was doing it, I was like sad. I'm like, no.
Yeah, the RAM though is so unnecessary because it's like such a small part.
I know
of
exactly, but I'm saying you could pay $30 extra just for that, or
Yeah,
maybe even
exactly.
more. So it's like,
You
but
can use the case, fans that come in the NZXT case.
yeah, but it's just really, it's really tempting because like when you're picking things out, you're like, oh, just an extra $10 when it's like 1,000, but like then it adds up, So you're like,
Yeah, no, I
dang.
agree. I understand. I was there, dude. I was there. I wanted
Yeah.
to get more. I could have gone more.
Yeah, it's hard because you could play around with it and then like I said, I guess maybe I should have set more of a budget, but I'm just trying to see what will work for me in the long run. I mean, I want this thing to last for, I mean, maybe at least, well, first of all, at least 5 years. I'm thinking more like 7 or 8 if I can upgrade this GPU in a couple years, but who knows, maybe not. But like I use it, like again, when I streamed 10 hours the other day, my CPU uptime was so much because I was streaming for 10 hours, dude. I'm like really grinding my CPU and GPUs into the ground, so that's why I
Yeah.
try to.
I mean, so you definitely want to get a really good water cooler.
Oh,
Or-
definitely
well,
want-
There are air coolers if you look that are better than water coolers. So you can look at both.
Well, no, I think I liked your setup, man. I think I'm gonna do that water cooler that you set up, like similar,
Yeah,
maybe the same
we
exact
need to
one.
do it a little bit more methodically than we.
Well, I'm definitely gonna do something similar to your setup, and then I'm gonna maybe look for same thing, just like fans, and make sure everything's just really cool for like those long gaming sessions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or stream sessions.
Maybe you want to look at different NZXT case or something. They have good deals, so you can get one with more fan space.
Yeah, I might go a little larger, yeah, size wise, but the NZXT is a nice case.
Yeah, I mean, mine's got plenty. It pulls in from the front and pushes the air out the back, which is what you would want. So
Yep, that's what you need.
it circulates the air well. It's just paying attention to that. I mean, I just remember how hard of a time we had. I'm like sitting so far away from my mic right now because I'm like looking at the computer. How hard of a time we had putting in the water cooler, so we just gotta remember how to do that shit.
Well, definitely learned some stuff from you. I think like we were going in like we put together some pieces and then we put it in. We were just hoping everything would fit, and I definitely think like you gotta like
We
I
moved
would
it like 6 times.
I try to like plan it out a little bit more. But we were trying to plan it out, but didn't know exactly how everything was gonna place once we
should
were
have put
inside.
the freaking water cooler in, and then
Yeah.
like Matt put it to the CPU, and then put the fans, like the mounted the fans. And I don't know what we were doing, but it was a pain in the butt.
Hey, I mean,
like,
we had
sometimes I look at it, I'm like, is this thing gonna pop off one day? You know what I mean? Like, is this thing actually? But it's
Yeah.
been good. So
yeah, it seemed pretty
anyways,
sturdy. It just was
Nah,
tight
it's
for a
not
second.
going
Yeah,
anywhere. It's
yeah,
It's locked in there now, dude. It ain't going nowhere. I
No,
don't even
for-
want to touch it.
yeah, for sure.
It would be fine.
But yeah, that was fun. It was it definitely was fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it. It's like a nice little project. Plus, I think honestly, I really want to just pay for like a gaming desktop to be made. Like initially, at least I wanted to. Like in the past.
Yeah.
But I think like again, building something gets you more in touch with like what's going on, and it helps you update it in the future. And then also like I need to get a little bit more savvy with like when I'm streaming and checking my PC I don't know, like I don't know a lot of that stuff, and I've been learning a lot about it now. And even from a video editing perspective, it's good to know like what's going on in your PC and how the RAM is, what things are functioning,
Yeah.
because I'm a pretty big PC noob when it comes down to it. I mean, like I said, I've upgraded, I put GPU in my PC, that's easy, but like I don't know exactly
Just
like the
part of
really big details of like what exactly is going on behind the scenes and like why RAM is in, like now I understand, but I really didn't know all the importance of all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's good, and I think you'll have more of an appreciation for it too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've known what it is, but like it's different when you really look into, like I've spent probably too much time watching so many videos. Shout out to Linus Tech Tips and Paul's Hardware. I like that Paul's Hardware dude. He goes through like really like ridiculous. Like he has this 3-part series about building a computer in 2019. It's each episode on YouTube is over a half hour long, and he literally is like showing you like I'm on Paul's Hardware. Let's look at it. It's March 2019, so it's super like relative because it's like, oh yeah, I've seen these same results, and he's like, here's this thing, and then he's going through literally what every single thing means. It's so helpful, it's so in depth. It's crazy.
Yeah, I watched the crap out of stuff figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's just you could drive yourself insane.
Yeah, for sure. And sorry for everybody listening. Sorry if we blew out this topic. I guess let's move on. We'll get ready to end the episode. Thank you guys for making through that. Hopefully it wasn't too bad, like talking PC stuff. If you're not into that at all, it might have been a little brutal. Maybe you're already gone. But I think we should bring it back to a little console stuff. So I think we forgot to do this last week, but almost every week we try to check on Twitch what games are being played, what's going on, like what's popular right now. And right now on Twitch, it just shows you what's being watched, like from a popular perspective. Obviously, we say that I try to disclose that every time. Obviously, this doesn't show you that this game's more popular than another, just what's being watched, heavily based off who's streaming. But World of Warcraft right now is in the lead. Must be because someone is streaming that's really popular. I actually don't know who this guy is, so my apologies. Asmongold. Everyone probably knows who he is, and I don't, so my bad. No clue who that guy is. And Grand Theft Auto is second. This is shocking. So World of Warcraft and Grand Theft Auto are actually first and second. Then Fortnite third with 107 viewers, 7,000 viewers. World of Warcraft had 160. Then right behind Fortnite with 102, so only 5,000 viewers off is League of Legends. So they're pretty much tied. Probably if you check back like an hour, probably pretty close. Fluctuating numbers. And then Just Chatting is fifth. Apex is sixth. Overwatch is seventh. And eighth, ninth. PUBG is 10th.
Shroud actually, when I checked earlier when we first started talking, and
Shroud went from Just Chatting to Apex. I think that's what Shroud did.
Yeah, so Shroud was Apex was behind PUBG.
Yeah.
So and then now PUBG's behind it because Shroud's playing Apex.
Interesting. There you go.
Such a huge swing. And
yeah.
Then there's it looks like for Counter-Strike, there's an ESL CS:GO tournament or something going on or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Something going on here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even necessarily that there's big streamers. There's just like a lot of small streamers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that could pile into that.
Oh, for sure.
Like CS:GO is like 7,000, 2,000, and then 50.
It really drops down. Yeah, it really drops down.
So,
especially when there's those events going on, for sure.
I mean, even on PUBG, it's like here's Choco Taco with 7,000, and then 492 is the next one. So
yeah,
it's all relative.
Yeah, it drops out pretty high. That guy WTF Moses has been becoming like he's a commentator, I think, for PUBG, and he's been getting really popular on his like stream recently. I saw him, but he was still not pretty far down there, but he was. He's got doesn't say how many viewers, but he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10th on the list of people in PUBG.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I guess, and let's end on some just PUBG stuff. So you played PUBG the other night. Who are you playing with?
Well, actually, so I played. Was it Monday night with DMart and?
Oh, like the first night of the PTS?
No, we didn't play PTS. But it was the night that PTS was released, and we got a nice chicken dinner. That was good. Me and DMart were playing some duos, and we couldn't for whatever reason his party was broken. We couldn't get the party to work.
Okay.
So we played it with no communication, and we were both had 4 or 5 kills.
Oh, nice.
We got pretty far. We couldn't even say a word. We were just jumping around after he killed people.
Nice. Yeah, DMart's a good player.
Yeah.
And he's a funny dude, so you got to he's a funny guy, so you got to.
Yeah, we were both on the same wavelength.
Okay.
I like hear him shooting, and I'd be like, What's that?" And I would just like run over, and he's like, "You kind of just showed up at the right time."
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
so it worked out. But then last night I played, with the normal crew, Day Day, Box of Ducks, and Mr. Wiggles, and we played the PTS, and it was great. It was fun playing the PTS.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. I had a lot of fun playing. Feels really smooth. Really excited for it to come to live server. I played with some new people on the stream, which was good.
Yeah, I saw you were playing with a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Played. I mean, during the 10-hour marathon, I mean, we were just rolling.
Yeah,
We were
you
doing
got
almost
you.
squads like the whole time, and people were just coming in and out. I said, why not just make it a party? And we had a bunch of people in, and I
Yeah.
ended up getting 7 dinners, which was great for how many random people we were playing with. Not even
Yeah.
random. Most people from the stream, so my bad, not randoms. But for how much we kept switching the party, we were like doing really well. And then we ended with a 3-peat dinner, which was nice. I mean, it's on the PTS, so it doesn't count. But that's one really fun
Yeah.
part about the PTS is now is a really fun time to just fool around and do like ridiculous shit in the game. Like try to run people
Yeah, no
over,
one
and
really cares about
yeah.
stuff.
it's not being tracked really. So it's just fun to do whatever and try some stuff
Yeah.
out. All right, man. So I guess we'll end it there. We talked about PTS. That's exciting. The PC players just got their number 29 update. I think this is going to be patch number like 8 or something for Xbox when this goes live. The next Survivor Pass. Are you going to be getting the next Survivor Pass? I wouldn't, shame
I
you
don't
if you
know.
don't, because I know you don't
No.
really put in the same
I
amount of
suck at
time.
grinding that kind of stuff. I'm not
Yeah,
like,
it might probably not. Probably, it's
dedicated.
honestly, yeah, it's probably not worth it for you, man. You really, yeah, you don't really grind. You don't, and even when you played, you're like, I don't care about the missions. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah, I just kind of give up. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't think it's not for everybody. So I think probably not worth it for you to spend it.
enjoy the game.
Yeah, they gave out a 20 level up 20 pass
Yeah.
last time, and I didn't use it because I was on track to hit max level last pass. So I might use mine this time to just get some stuff right off the bat, to like get a boost.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be worth it. I think I got that too, didn't I?
Yeah, no, everybody got it. It's just a question whether you used it or not. I probably
I
told you
didn't.
not to because,
I don't know what
Yeah.
I did with it.
yeah. All right, man. So I guess that just about does it. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the podcast, number 24. Next week will be number 25. And yeah, I'll have to text you, man. Maybe we could set up another time to get somebody else on here. We'll do another interview. That was fun. And I'd like to get Money or Mike Mogg or DK on here next. I'm down to get everybody from the members group on, but those guys, I talked to you about doing it recently. So
Yeah,
definitely down to have them on.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. And as always,
Thanks
You wanna
for
tell
joining us
them?
in the final circle.
yeah, let's go.
it.
All right.
Later,
Yeah,
everybody.
later, everybody. Peace.